Start this hour in South Asia, and young voters in Bangladesh are urging the country's new government to honour the spirit of last year's student-led uprising, saying a peaceful election alone will not meet the aspirations of politically engaged youths. A day after the country's national polls showed the Bangladesh Nationalist Party won by a landslide. Many first-time and young voters born between 1997 and 2012 say that they were encouraged by the absence of widespread violence during the polls. However, they stress that stability must now translate into tangible change, including improved public security, protection for working-class communities, and a firm stance against extortion and militancy. Let's now listen into what some of the youngsters had to say.
আমাদের সুস্থভাবে যাতে নির্বাচন হয়েছে আল্লাহর কাছে শুকরিয়া জানাই, কোনো ঝামেলা হয়েছে না, আর বর্তমানে সরকার যাতে সুন্দরভাবে চালাতে পারে, আগে যেতে পারে এই কামনা করি। আর চাঁদাবাজ সন্ত্রাস যাতে মুক্ত হয়, সুন্দরভাবে যাতে চালাতে পারে এই সরকার, জনগণের পাশে যে সবসময় থাকে, সুখ দুঃখে এগুলো দেখে খেয়াল রাখে, এটাই
আমাদের এখন ভোট হইলো, আমরা ভোট দিলাম, অবশ্যই আমরা সবাই শান্তিপূর্ণভাবেই ভোট দিছি, কিন্তু ভোট দেওয়ার পরে যদি আমরা আসলে সরকার নিয়ে কিছু বলতে না পারি, আমরা যদি আসলে কোনোভাবে বলতে না পারি যে এটা ঠিক হচ্ছে না বা ওটা ঠিক হচ্ছে না, উই আর নট উইথ ইউ, এই জিনিসটা যদি আমরা ভয়েস করতে না পারি, এটা আসলে উড বি দ্য প্রবলেম। যদি তারা এরকম হয় যে তারা ক্রিটিসিজম মেনে আসলে সরকার চালাইতে পারে, বা তারা যদি অ্যাকচুয়ালি ওপেন হয় যে না, পিপল উড ডিসাইড যে কি হবে না হবে, তাহলে আসলে দ্যাট উড বি মোর।
Joining us now is Major General Dr. Rajan Kochar, an international relations expert, joining us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Kochar, here on NewsX World. Young voters here urging the country's new government to honour the spirit of last year's student-led uprising. What are the problems? What are the pros that might arise from doing such a thing? Do you expect the new BNP Party, the new government, the new Prime Minister to acknowledge such statements from those young people that want change in Bangladesh?
Thank you, Thomas. First of all, my congratulations to Bangladesh on a transition now, and whatever be the transition, it should be for the better of the country, and it should not be a regression into violence and law and order situation, which we actually saw in the last 18 months. Because last 18 months has been a disaster for Bangladesh, and I think this new government or disposition would like to make a difference. 59.6% has been in the voting in Bangladesh. We have 127 million voters out of a population of approximately 180 million. So I think the mandate is there. The challenges are immense in front of BNP, and the focus has to be on what Tariq Rahman has mentioned, Bangladesh before all. And what does it mean? It means that Bangladesh interests have to be on the first priority, and thereafter they can consider other considerations as far as the geopolitics are concerned. So what are the major issues now? The first issue is that there is a very large unemployment, resuscitation of the industries in Bangladesh, because those textile industries in the last about 18 months have actually suffered a lot. And Bangladesh is known for its textile strength.
Yes.
Then a very pertinent point which he has raised is about the water disputes, because it directly points out to India. And the Tista Water River Accord has not yet been formalized, and the Ganges Water Treaty is due for renewal in April 2026. So What he's trying to suggest is he's wanting to go to the 1997 United Nations Water Convention to claim a fair share of water. So he is now in a kind of a mode I can see in which he wants to be with India as far as the economic treaties are concerned, which have already been concluded for the short term. But in the long term, I visualize there is going to be a shift of Bangladesh towards China and Pakistan. And why Pakistan is because recently the Bangladesh Air Chief visited Pakistan and JF 1748 aircrafts have been contracted. So, why does Bangladesh need this kind of a force of multi-role aircrafts and 155 guns and ammunition from China, drones from Turkey? So, the threat perception is basically India only. So, in my personal assessment, I feel that for short term, they will not make any statements which are anti-India, but in the long term, they will shift base from India to China and Pakistan, and that brings in a larger context as far as India is concerned, because 4,096 kilometers of border, and most of the border, I've been there, so it's quite porous. So we have a threat perception now from Bangladesh. So much would depend on the government of Bangladesh, the present disposition, giving an assurance to India that from Bangladesh side, they will not indulge in any kind of terrorist activities or terrorism camps are going to be based there. So I think I would be looking forward to that. And my last point is that there is a mention of Sheikh Hasina's extradition.
Yeah.
So I think this will remain a thorn in the flesh as far as Bangladesh and India relations are concerned. I don't want to comment on this decision of the Indian government at that point of time. But in times to come, I think India will have to take a call. Because in case you want to mend fences with Bangladesh, certain hard decisions will have to be taken. And let's wait and see the outcome of this. And also a brief mention about the July National Charter, because this referendum has taken place in Bangladesh and it's a yes. So that yes means that BNP is duty bound now to carry out certain reforms in their political process, and in the way I'm given to understand the Prime Minister will be given a maximum of only 2 terms. The President will be given larger powers. So in my own assessment, I have a perception that Mohammed Yunus may like to place himself as the next President of Bangladesh.
Okay. Dr. Kochar, thank you so much for joining us here on the programme. Pleasure to talk to you as always.